Hey guys, I am back again and I'm here to do my November wrap up. Now, I'm gonna be honest, this end of the year situation is a little not so great. But October and November, we have been reading, doing a group read of this big classic, Les Miserables. So this has taken up a lot of my reading time because it is quite the chunker. And I have been having to read things like for my book club in Normandy here, and then also my book club that I run online. So my November reading, like that is finished books, is very low. This is the first time in a long time this has happened, but it's kind of normal because this book is very long. I haven't read a really, really long book like this since we read The Count of Monte Cristo together, which was also, I think, if I remember correctly, a similar situation where I wasn't able to read as much as I really wanted to read. So yeah, I'm still reading Les Miserables, and I hope to be finished probably Monday if all goes well. I'm also doing a buddy read of this one right here, which is Paul Laurence Dunbar, The Life and Times of a Caged Bird by Jean Andrew Jarrett. And I'm enjoying this nonfiction, but it is a nonfiction. And so you know how nonfiction is. You got to be delicate with it. And I got this really cool bookmark. Look at that. It's a little boat there. So yeah, now you're probably saying, well, girl, what did you read? What did you read? All right, what did I read? Beginning of the month, I read No One Dies Yet by Kobe Benben. Now, this was the November pick for the Read So Lit book club. No, sorry. This was the October pick for the Read So Lit book club that I run online. And I wind up finishing this one towards the end of November, the end of October, beginning of November. As a book club for October was in the beginning of November. And this one was an interesting read. This is a story that is written by a Ghanaian author, debut author called Kobe Benben. Kobe Benben used to be a bookstagrammer. He is no longer creating bookstagram content like that. He's now moved over into the group of being an author. So this is a book that is his brainchild, which deals with many things: Ghanaian culture, homosexuality, transatlantic slave trade. There's just a lot of things. This is a book in a book, but at the same time, it's a bit of a thriller. This book talks about Elton, Vincent, and I think his name is Scott. Yeah. These three Black Americans go to Ghana to sort of connect with their roots and to learn more about Ghanaian culture and the transatlantic slave trade. But at the same time, they wind up having two tour guides. One whose name is Kobe, who teaches them all about the underground world of gay clubbing and the gay scene in Ghana. And then they have the other tour guide whose name is Nana, and Nana is sort of like the polar opposite of Kobe. Like, he's religious and he takes the culture of Ghana very seriously, all of it turning around, what is a real Ashanti and the importance of the Ghanaian culture. So we have these juxtapositions. We have this juxtaposition between these two tour guides, while at the same time, we have the craziness of these three Black Americans that have so come over to, get some kind of understanding of Ghanaian culture. Through this book, it is quite the ups and downs. Now, I find that this book is maybe not for everyone. Uh, I'm gonna just tell you there are a lot of gay sex scenes. So if that's something that you have trouble with, then maybe you should abstain. I didn't have any problems with it. It's very literary fiction, so there may be some parts of the book that you may find difficult to follow, that you may have to go back and reread really quickly. But with all that being said, the book is quite creative. And what I really liked was because Kobe Ben Ben came to our book club. And what I liked hearing was that he put his all into this book. Like he knew what he wanted this book to be. And he was not prepared to have anybody change his vision. And I feel like as a debut author, if you can do that, wow, more power to you. So I was very happy to read his book and to have him come to the book club. He is working on a second book, his sophomore book. I'm not sure when that will be coming out, but when it does, I'm definitely going to get a copy. So, No One Dies Yet. I don't know if you'll be in for it, but I found it quite the ride. Then the other book that I finished is this one right here, Another Country by James Baldwin. Now, this was a reread for me. I read this for the first time 10 years ago. Wow, 10 years ago. It just, whew, it's a minute. It seems like 10 years have just flown by, yeah, mama. Anyway, this is another book that is also under the sign of LGBTQ. This is a book that explores the friendship group of, I think it's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like 7 people in this friendship group. And after a particular event happens towards the beginning of the book, this is when we dive head first into this motley crew, I must say, who are artists and living their lives in a particular way. Keep in mind, this book is set in the 1950s, but it was published in 1962. And it was received, it was a little bit mixed, received in mixed ways. There were some people who thought it was great. Other people thought it was not so great. Some people had issues with the LGBTQ content, but I say I highly recommend this one. It's very brilliant. It really shows off the writing abilities that James Baldwin had. His writing is quite direct, but yet it's still quite layered. There's always something more going on within his beautifully written sentences. New York is a key element in this novel in a way that I have not seen done so well, but in maybe a few other books. So that's also something to contend with. You have those 7 different characters, and then you have also the character of New York. Now, keep in mind, the majority of the characters that James Baldwin writes about in this book are white. There are only 2 Black characters in this book, and I'm talking main characters. But what he does is he is really delving deep into the themes of homosexuality, bisexuality, love, jealousy, conformity. He's looking at race relations. He's looking at all of these things, and he still manages to cover all of these bases while still making the story very interesting. And the dialogue is fantastic. I mean, it's the best thing about the book, in my opinion, the dialogue. I highly recommend this one. This is definitely one of my favorite books by Baldwin. 5 stars, of course, even though it's my second read. I even have even more tabs on this one than I did the first time. But yeah, highly recommend it. So These were the two books that I read in November, and you know what I'm constantly reading at the moment. Now, what do you expect for the rest of December? Well, I have a few other videos that I want to do for the beginning of December, but then I will not be doing Vlogmas, but I'm going to be doing 12 Days of Christmas. So you see this bookshelf right here, which is a hot mess. As you can count, there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and then there's 2 other at the bottom. So I will be doing 12 Days of Christmas, and it will be to revamp this bookcase, which means culling and reorganizing. I want this to look pristine the next time you see it. So Christmas Day, it's going to look pristine. So if you're interested in seeing what's on all of these shelves, what I'm keeping and what I'm, getting rid of, start checking on my 12 Days of Christmas, which starts on the 14th. And you will see all of the mess going down. So that's all I have for you today. Comment below and tell me what you read in November and how is your November going for you? Like, are you hitting your goals? Are you hitting those reading goals? How is your winter reading going? So that's all I have for you now. I'll be back really soon with another video. Bye.